My name is Jordi Baylina. Well, I'm an Ethereum developer, a fan of Ethereum too, and I'm mainly right now I'm working very much for Giveth, and well, and I have also been in many stories in this space. So I started reading Bitcoin at something like 2013 or 2014, about that. I read Bitcoin, I loved the idea, I think it was very, very, very cool. But I start like trying to do interesting things. So it was smart contracts. I didn't know that that was the name at that point. But I was trying to do smart contracts. But you know, those opcodes, and it's very, it's very frustrating because most of the opcodes didn't work, and it was okay. This is cool for payments, but you know, for doing interesting things that I want to do, it maybe it's not the tool, and so on. And then in 2000, a couple of years later, 2016, in a JavaScript conference, there was a guy that started talking about decentralized protocols, IPFS, and so on. They don't even name Ethereum at that time. But okay, my mind started blowing on there, so I was just investigating the internet, and I came to the Ethereum, and this is when your eyes start going up. So okay, this is something that what I was trying to do in 2 years ago. Now here you can really have a platform to do that, and you can really, you know, in 2 lines you can, you know, something that could take maybe like 1 month and it didn't work. You can in 2 lines, and in 10 minutes you get a smart contract deployed, and it works on that. So spend all my free time investigating on that, and at one point I have to name that I went to, you know, I discovered all the DAO as another project in the system, but I was reading all the DAO. I saw this smart contract. I read and study it. I make a full pull request to create a liquid democracy for the DAO. Of course, this pull request never. I published it the same day that the DAO was launched. So, but it was an incredible good exercise to do. And then I redid this smart contract, but we did a liquid democracy system that you don't need it to upgrade the DAO for doing that. And then is when you see the powerful, and then you discover there also all the community part, you know, in the DAO and all that stuff. And when you discover that there is very cool people that's connected together, that's trying to create this new world, that's trying to do something else that was just the technological protocol. And this is very, you know, this is getting you in. And you know, and after that, I knew very much the DAO, and then when the DAO hacked, I was also, I found out also what the things hacking, and I was helping also to the people, just to try to recover all the money. And there is when I became a white hat at that point. So it was a crazy story. I was like the last one to arrive there, but yeah, I was helping a lot. I can say that I hacked the DAO 3 times for good, just for helping. But it's a good way to get introduced to the space. And since there, well, just now I just quit my job in the other side, and I'm full time in this, learning a lot, learning every day. I'm still a newbie on this, because I say newbie because you are still learning so much every day. Well, at the end are tools that doesn't depend of a central power. Okay, so and when there is a central power, it means that you have like 2 classes. You have two different levels, okay? Which is in the central and which is in the side, okay? And that makes difference. That makes the differences, and it's very difficult to avoid that difference, because there's a center. Center can be 1 person, or can be maybe a reduced set of persons, okay? But they have some privileges, they have some decisions, and they are one way for the good and for the bad. You know, but they are, and then there is the rest of the part. And decentralization means that there is no center. There is no central part. Means that everybody, if you want, everybody is the center. That the system works in this mesh. It works because these individual interactions, and then is when the individual, the person, is really the center. Everybody is like a small center, and you connect that together. And yeah, the problem of this decentralized systems is that they are expensive. They are not, in general, they are not optimal. They are not, from engineering point of view, they are not the best way to do things, or at least not the easiest way to do the things. And all the decentralization technology, what it adds is that mainly makes these protocols cheaper, available. So something that you had to do in a central way because there were almost no other way to do it. Right now we have an opportunity to remove the central and create these new systems that without this central part. And this is amazing because it goes just much far than the single protocol, that the single bytes that go from one side to the other. It goes to the people. It goes to how the people self-organize. You can organize things without the need of a center. As an example, for example, a voting system. When a society wants to organize a voting system, you need some kind of central people that just controlling the system. That's counting and managing the organizing, defining the rules, and it's very difficult to do the thing without this center. In blockchain, this is not necessary anymore. The people just can self-organize. Maybe someone propose, but it's people just accept and people just vote, and you don't need anybody that controls the system and watches. It's there. It's in the blockchain, and so this is just an example of how decentralization adds good. And of course, this adds a lot of trust. And you don't need the center anymore. So you are more free if you want, and you can create more things because you don't need these central powers. Of course, there are some classic ones. Okay, we have the scalability issue. Of course, that's there. Many people and many ideas are working on that. In Ethereum, more concrete, of course, there is this usability. We need easy. Right now, it's an advanced tool. There are tools that are not easy, and this usability, transactions take long, and you need to check that the transactions works okay, and maybe you need to install something you need to install MetaMask or something that's not really decentralized. Right now, the usability of the network of the platform needs to grow a lot, and I also want to mention security. I think that's an important part, and I'm not mentioning security in the smart contracts, that of course too. I've been a white hat for the security to smart contracts. Okay, so security smart contracts too, but I'm more concerned in the security of the final user. Ethereum, as is, I would say that not much. The one that really helped a lot was IPFS. Of course, if Swarm was available, maybe Ethereum could help a lot. When that in the Ethereum in the Catalonian referendum, we had the Spanish government just censor many web pages. Then the Catalan people they had the need to access these web pages. Some of these web pages were, for example, they said where the people had to go to vote. So the people need to go to these pages to query where you voted. So there's a small database. You say, okay, this is my identification number, this is my birthday, so you have to vote to this school, this street, or whatever. Just some single basic information that the people needed in order to organize this vote. And this was censored by the Spanish government. So what the people do in order to access that? Okay, the web doesn't work. What we do? Of course, you have many options. You can have a VPN. You can use Tor browser. The society is not prepared. It's not prepared for them. It's when you see that the society they start using these hacky tools and this stuff. It's like no, the society is not prepared. If Ethereum would be in real, this would not even have been possible. You could you have your browser in your computer, and yeah, man, if you have internet connection, you just access and nobody can censor that. You can, for example, you could send information. If you have, for example, an identification system of the people, you can send information of where you can vote, or even you can vote in the same blockchain. So if we go to the future, really in Ethereum, you could just organize the full voting in the blockchain.